You ask one simple question on a mental health call, and suddenly you're drowning in a 5-minute story that comes out in pieces. They jump from their ex to their meds to their landlord. And when they finally stop, you're thinking, what did they actually just say? If you get it wrong, the whole tone of the call can change fast. Paraphrasing fixes that. And I'll show you the biggest mistake officers make with it a little later. I'm Troy Seward. I spent 30 years in law enforcement and trained thousands of officers in crisis communication. Here, I focus on real-world tools you can use on your next call. Let's look at why paraphrasing matters so much on the street. When someone is overwhelmed or frustrated, their story can come out in bits and pieces. They jump from one issue to the next so fast that you're just trying to hang on to whatever makes sense in the moment. One minute they're talking about a family fight. The next, they're describing how they haven't been sleeping because their anxiety's been through the roof lately. Then it shifts again into a whole different problem. If you latch onto the wrong detail in all of this, or think you understand everything when you don't, they might get frustrated or upset. That's exactly why we use paraphrasing. Here's how it works. You simply take what they said and restate the key points in your own words. You're not adding or interpreting anything. It's just confirming that you understand what they said before you respond. Let me show you what it looks like with a few examples. Example number one. Imagine someone tells you, I've been trying to calm down all day. I called my therapist's office twice and no one picked up. So I walked over there, but they said she had already left. And now everything feels like it's getting worse. And I don't know what else to do. You might paraphrase by saying, so you've been trying to calm down all day. It's getting worse. You haven't been able to reach your therapist, and now you don't know what to do next. Is that right? This prompts them to either tell you that's right, correct what you missed, or add something you didn't catch. Example number two. This time a subject tells you, I keep hearing this voice telling me people are after me. It sounds like it's right behind me sometimes. And when I look around, I see shadows moving in the corner of my eye. I know everyone keeps saying it's not real, but it feels real. And I can't tell who I'm supposed to trust right now. Your paraphrase might be, so it sounds like you don't know who to trust because the voice is telling you people are after you, but everyone around you is saying it's not real. Paraphrasing like this shows you were listening and gives them a chance to confirm or correct your understanding of what they said. Now, I admit, these were short examples, but paraphrasing also works really well after someone unloads a long, complicated story on you. It helps you pull together the key points of that long story without guessing what they meant. Okay, so earlier I mentioned the biggest mistake officers make with paraphrasing. Here it is. They slip judgment, assumptions, or their own conclusions into the paraphrase statement. Here's what that might look like using our last example. The officer attempts to paraphrase and says, so the voices are confusing you and making you think people are after you. Now, if you recall, they didn't say voices were making them think anything. That's an assumption. And assumptions weaken trust fast, especially if they're wrong. A better paraphrase would be, so it feels confusing because the voice you're hearing says one thing, and the people around you are saying something completely different, and you're not sure which to trust. Is that right? Clean, accurate, no assumptions. Now, this all sounds easy, and it is, but you may be wondering how it helps you. Well, there are three ways. Number one, It shows you're listening and helps build rapport. When you take a second to repeat the main points of what they said in your own words, people feel like you actually heard them. That helps lower tension and makes them more willing to keep talking. Number two, it makes sure you're both talking about the same thing. Oh, you don't end up going in circles. Paraphrasing keeps you focused on the point they're making. When you confirm your understanding early, you avoid those frustrating back and forth loops where you're saying one thing and they're talking about something completely different. And number three, it keeps the call moving. Once you're both on the same page, you can move forward instead of getting stuck on an issue or backtracking. So here's the takeaway for this video. Paraphrasing is simply taking the key points of what they said and putting it in your own words without adding assumptions or conclusions that weren't theirs. And the payoff is simple. They feel heard, you ensure proper understanding, and the call keeps moving forward. That's why paraphrasing matters. If you want more real-world tools like this, subscribe to the channel so you keep getting the kind of skills that make crisis calls easier to manage. And check out my free monthly email, The Insightful Responder. Next time, we're breaking down emotion labeling, an easy but effective way to help people feel understood. Until then, stay safe out there and train to respond, not just react, so you can make a difference when it matters most.